Welcome everyone to this week's New Money. I am Tracy Chang. While the latest buzzword in China's e-commerce space is O2O, an online to offline model that is revolutionizing China's services industry. Today, we look at 3 companies that have achieved early success in this field.
This is Wang Nianxue. He is originally from Jilin, but has spent many years in Beijing working as a security guard and waiter, among other jobs. Today, however, he has found a position that allows him to control his own time. He is a washer for e-car wash, a company specializing in online to offline door-to-door service.
The income is good. I can make 300 yuan on a good day, 6,000 to 7,000 per month. I wash about a dozen cars every day if the weather's good. I think this is the age of technology, super technology even. People are getting lazier. They just make a call or use WeChat and we're there. It saves time and money, and it's good for the environment.
Wang sends a photo of the clean car to the customer when he finishes the job and waits for the payment to arrive.
It's very convenient to the car owner because we can use this service whether we're at home or we're at work. It also saves us time as we don't have to go to the car wash and wait in line.
E-Car Wash has more than 3,000 affiliated car washes. It receives an average of 15,000 orders per day, a number that increases to 30,000 at peak times. The company's affiliated car washes also make it easy for their customers to book appointments on the internet.
The app allows my customers to book times in advance online. If, for instance, I have to wash 10 cars that day and the customer is able to book a time, it's very convenient for both of us.
Clean cars aren't the only services people can get delivered to their doorsteps these days. Xiaomei Daojia is a beauty service that went online in December and has grown quickly. It now has 70,000 registered users and receives more than 200 orders each day. The service only hires beauty therapists that have held licenses for 5 years or more. The beauty therapists brings towels, massage pillows, and beauty products to their clients' homes while music and incense set the mood.
I can order a session online. I can choose who I want to come. Once I'm home, I just wait for them to show up at the time that I ordered. It's very convenient. Besides, having it done at home is different from going to the beauty parlor. They don't try to sell me products.
The door-to-door service has also changed beauty therapists' work patterns.
We don't peddle any products, and our customers don't need to buy a membership card. It allows us to focus on our work. I like that part. Besides, I only go when there's an order. Outside of that, I have a lot of time to do what I like to do, like studying or going shopping. I'm pretty free. I've worked with them for about 2 months. I've completed around 180 orders. I usually get 4 to 5 orders every day. I make around 10,000 yuan every month.
Kung Fu Bear specializes in another kind of O2O door-to-door service, massage therapy. Most of the company's customers are men. The company's CEO Wang Ren realized early on that delivering massage services to people's homes carried the stigma of prostitution. Wang worked around that problem by targeting office buildings and servicing clients only during the workday. He also hired mostly male masseurs. The company now sees many return customers and has received 20 million RMB, or around 3.3 million US dollars in angel investment.
I get about 8 orders each day, or up to a dozen if they're smaller orders. But usually it's around 8. I make around 20,000 yuan each month.
O2O door-to-door startups mushroomed in the first half of this year, allowing people to enjoy having cooks, maids, car washers, beauty therapists, masseurs, and many more service providers come knocking on their doors. It turns out that helping those who are too busy to go outside can drive a business.
Well, folks, just a reminder, you can use your smartphone to scan the QR code on the bottom of your screen to find the latest and previous episodes of New Money. And also the O2O model are exploding in popularity. But what are the pros and cons of the O2O model versus the traditional service model? To understand the differences, Professor Jia Ning joins me in the studio, and she is the Deputy Director at the China Business Case Center at Tsinghua University. So Professor Jia, we're seeing that there's the rise of the O2O model, right? But what are the main differences and competitive advantages of the O2O model compared to a traditional in-store service model?
Well, Tracy, I think there are at least two reasons. One is convenience. So instead of going to different places to get service, now with the O2O home service model, you can just stay home or in your office and enjoy all kinds of services, right? So you don't have to worry about traffic, you don't have to worry about waiting in the line to get service, which is very attractive, especially for people with a busy schedule, right? And I think the second main reason is the fact that a lot of these O2O companies are trying to aggressively expand their market presence and market share.
Right.
So what they're doing is they're aggressively subsidizing their users for using their service, which means the price of their service is substantially lower than the price offered by the traditional service providers, right? So this is another attractive point about the O2O business model.
So Professor Jia, from the surface of it, it seems like the O2O model has lower costs because it doesn't require a physical store. But is that true?
Well, I guess not necessarily, Tracy, because the O2O home service model has a very different cost structure compared to the traditional service model. So when you operate a service business offline, owning a physical store, your number one cost is rent, as you mentioned. And your second largest cost is actually labor, followed by utility.
Right.
When you operate a O2O, online to offline home service model, because now the service is actually delivered at the client's place, so you do save on the rent, which is a fixed cost. But what you have to realize is at the same time, you also incur additional variable costs that you wouldn't with a traditional service model. So for example, if you work for a traditional service business, you can actually serve clients one after another. But when you work for an O2O home service company, basically you end up spending a lot of time traveling on the road.
Locations.
Exactly, going from one client's place to the next, right? So there's a lot of idle or non-productive time. So that's the opportunity cost you have to think about, which means the work efficiency and productivity of every employee will be significantly reduced, right? And another variable cost that you have to incur, which you wouldn't have with the traditional model, is actually logistics and transportation, because now your staff are all traveling on the road. So that's another variable cost you have to incur. And another one would be the sharing of the equipment and the tools, right? When you work together in a physical location, sometimes you will be able to share equipments with your colleagues, but when you are offering services at the client's location, you do have to prepare multiple sets of equipment, right? So all in all, which structure or which business model has lower cost and higher profitability margin, I think that's still a question mark. But one thing we do know is if these O2O service providers are able to receive, say, a lot of orders in a vicinity, for example, if the company is able to receive a lot of orders from one residential area, that will significantly reduce the amount of time of travel, right? So the profit level is likely to go up.
So this online to offline model makes a lot of sense, but how sustainable is this model? What are some of the potential challenges?
Right, well, I think the number one challenge is customer loyalty. So currently there's a high level of homogeneity among these O2O home service providers. So now to attract new customers and also to retain the current customers, a lot of these companies are using the money that they raise from venture capitalists and to heavily subsidize their users for using the service. So my question is, once the subsidy stops, your existing customer can easily transfer to your competitor, right? We've already seen this happening with Didi and Kuaidi, all these Uber-like companies in China. So I think that's number one challenge. The second challenge is low barrier. So this is a sector with very low entry barrier, and this is a sector that can easily turn from blue ocean to red ocean. So competition is fierce in this market. A third challenge is actually limited control of various resources, and also even your own staff, right? So the employee turnover rate in these O2O O2O home service company is actually fairly high. Now, this is actually a bad signal because for the service sector, if the employee turnover rate is very high, it's going to be more difficult to control the quality of your service, right? And the fourth challenge is actually safety. I think this is more of a concern from consumer perspective. You know, are you willing to let a stranger into your place to perform a service and stay at your home for an extended period of time? It's probably less of a concern if you were to deliver a food or a package, you know, to the customer. But with a home service business, this is actually a bigger concern.
So this person actually has to enter your home and stay for a long period
Exactly, and you have to be able to trust him or her in order for that to happen.